Starting out, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This tells me that there's been some kind of loss or setback due to some decisions that weren't very wise. Okay. Could be monetarily, because I do see some money in here, but I also see love. So there's a setback probably in love and in money. Okay. Just your expectations were disappointed. You may possibly have to take a cut at work to be with family, whether that's intentional or not. But you had a toxic relationship and you felt like a prisoner. And the thing is, besides all this stuff, besides this failure, you want to be in a long-term relationship. You want to settle down. Okay. The next card is the Knight of Cups. This tells me that you're a very romantic Capricorn. You may not show it on the outside, but you are. And you don't always wear your heart on your sleeve, but for a particular person, you wore your heart on your sleeve. You made a love offer to someone, or you engaged in a relationship with someone. It might have been intense, and you were proud of your accomplishments. You had some self-esteem going on, and you just wanted that, final commitment. But you may have been considered a little bit of a daydreamer. Now here, when it's upright, this talks about being true and no deception, okay? Here with the Nine of Pentacles, and later on you have King of Cups. Again, this talks about being true. Okay. So I don't know if you thought somebody was being unfaithful and they really were true, or if you're just saying you are true to this person, or you want somebody who is true. Because right in front of the Knight of Cups, we have Queen of Cups. So this tells me, there's a relationship. You may be a little bit more immature than she is, or if this is you, the Queen of Cups, then somebody who's younger than you, or maybe a little bit more less immature, gave you a love offer. If that didn't happen for some of you, this is just what you want. You want two people who are emotionally invested in one another. And you think this would be like the perfect relationship. Like this says somebody wore their heart on their sleeve and they want to be able to do that. So I see this as like a really emotionally stable couple. Very romantic, deep feelings. And yet I'm not sure why this is representative of you, because it's got to be one of you. Because we got water signs. That just doesn't seem right. I think this Nine of Pentacles is you because Pentacles are earth sign. And this is somebody who's self-sufficient, independent, they have some accomplishments. They're very tactful, diplomatic. They have grace. They can restrain themselves. But right now, you're considered to be in reverse. With the Knight of Cups right here, if this were upright, that would be fancy living. But I think this is you. You're not living fancy. Or maybe the man or a person who was coming in offering love didn't have the kind of money you wanted and they weren't fancy. But really, I think this is you, and both of these are you, and you're lacking money because these were next to each other. Because this talks about having fancy tastes, but no budget. And this by itself is fancy taste, no budget. But then it's like doubly emphasized that you have no budget. All right, clarifying the Knight of Cups, we have Page of Pentacles. So this talks about maintaining your focus. You could possibly, be successful if you had some new skills and you just really focused, but you may be afraid of becoming an apprentice But it says, don't shy away from that. Further your skills, because I think somehow or another your self-esteem is tied to your work, and that affects your personal life as well. When the Page of Pentacles has the Five of Pentacles, and they do happen to be next to each other, and when Page of Pentacles happens to be with the Wheel of Fortune, it talks about wasteful spending. This means gambling. Okay. This means monetary loss and suffering. Okay. And this guy's supposed to be, he's like focused on money. So all three of these together say wasteful spending. The only card you don't have, which would indicate it like 3 times more than this, would be the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. But basically there's wasteful spending. I could see some gambling going on based on some other cards. So you may be overindulging in something, not spending your money correctly, so you're not living in luxury. You have no budget. Okay. Well, the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. So here, there's no commitment with this relationship, or you just haven't found it yet. You feel left out in the cold. Your happiness is blocked. Your love interest thinks you don't have the money to take care of them. And I think that would be the Queen of Wands here. Queen of Cups. I wonder why I said Queen of Wands. Because I never see the Queen of Cups as being shallow and caring about money. It's usually about emotional things. So maybe Queen of Wands was just something that was supposed to be said. I don't know. I would think that's more about compassion or passion, Let's think about that. Okay, so Five of Pentacles. Basically, this love connection is cyclical, and you're just suffering because you're not getting anything out of it. The next next card is Three of Cups in reverse. When I see Three of Cups, it indicates it's not a good time. You're out of some kind of group or out of a union. You're not healing, and there hasn't been a good outcome. Like, you feel like there's no solution to your problem. You don't feel fulfilled. You don't have any solace. You feel like something hasn't been concluded. And again, this talks about spending money, like it's coming out. And it also talks about overindulgence, being exhausted. And it says you need to aim for balance. So we have a few cards talking about spending too much money. So Capricorns, watch your money. You guys are supposed to be really good at money. What's going on? Next to it is the Nine of Cups in reverse. So you already know you're not getting your wish, whatever it is. You're not going to get fulfillment. Nine of Cups reverse talks about financial setbacks, not enjoying the good life. So we have two cards that talk about not enjoying the good life, and they're both nines. So let's talk about nines for a second. When nines are reversed, it talks about being selfish, making, for lack of a better word, dumb choices, being unfulfilled, and you didn't attain something. Because we have nines. Nines mean fruition, attainment, but it's in reverse, so you're not doing that. So, Nine of Pentacles reverse, you're lonely, you're unhappy, you're suffering the consequences of some bad decisions. Alright, and then we have Three of Cups and Nine of Cups together. We have a lot of cups in here, so it's a lot, not only is it about money, but it's mostly about love. We only have 2 Pentacle cards in here. All the rest of them are 3 Pentacle cards. So I think it's a little bit of money, but it could just be using money cards to talk about love. This is a love reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cup cards. This is very emotional and about overindulgence and wasteful money spending. So when these two guys are together, this says you can't be with the person you love or the people you love. Three of Cups in reverse, you're not getting out. You're not celebrating. You're not getting out with a group of people. You're not getting out and finding somebody. And that's probably not the best choice for you right now because you're in a low spot. It says you have no desire to party, to get together, to celebrate. Here, this talks about, could be possibly theft. That could be why you're having money troubles. But mostly this is about overindulging, possibly bribery or immoral acts. And with it next to the Three of Cups, immoral acts could be unfaithfulness. But see, I usually see, well, I guess it could be either. The up or down, it could be unfaithful. So this could be you thought somebody was unfaithful and they weren't. Or you thought somebody was unfaithful and they weren't. I mean, it could be either one. There's, different groups out there, so maybe it's for both of you. But when I see the Nine of Cups, I see a hidden truth. Like behind this blue curtain, there's something there, and he's guarding it. I don't know what that hidden truth is, okay? But it's getting in the way of your happiness. Right? Clarifying Three of Cups and the Nine of Cups. We have Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So yay, all this good luck. I mean, so we have it in reverse. This means something stagnant. It's just a really unlucky time. Things are out of control, like gambling. We talked about that. Okay, money, but just love in general. It's just a dark time. It says you have to accept the bad situation, try to make it positive, but don't take risks or gamble. So if you're gambling, don't. If you're taking risks in love right now, it's just not the best time. Because you may end up with somebody who's unfaithful, okay? And if you think you're meant to be with somebody, this says they're not your soulmate because it's in reverse. Basically, this also says your wishes aren't granted. So clarifying Nine of Cups, we have 2 wishes are not granted. And usually if you don't get what you wish for, it's because it wasn't meant for you. Okay? Like it wasn't good for you either. So your love life's dark. This says you need to kind of reflect on yourself, why you're in this spot, like why you weren't prepared. Because usually you want to prepare monetarily or emotionally while you're on top. So when this does happen, because it's inevitable, this will happen, you're not caught off guard so much. So that clarified Three of Cups and Nine of Cups. Next to the Nine of Cups is the Sun in reverse. So all the happy cards are in reverse. No fun. Okay, Sun in reverse means sadness. Also bad decisions. And we talked about Nine of Pentacles can be bad decisions. And usually the Wheel of Fortune's in reverse due to some bad decisions. So again, you have to make some positive decisions to turn it around. You have low enthusiasm. This could also be talking about you were naive about someone or something. And so now something happened and you're seen as inferior. Like this is seen as positive, inferior. Also, we have another secret. I mean, something's behind here. Something hasn't come to light yet. Now we can reveal it. I don't know what that is, but okay. So this is a little bit about deception. So we do have what? Possible deception. Yeah. Okay, so we got a little bit of deception here. I'm just not sure what the deception's about. Yeah, with this 3, this 3 over here, it could be infidelity. It may just be suspicion of infidelity, and that's not really. Okay, so Sun and Nine of Cups. Okay, usually this says you go to the beach and you get burned by the sun. Okay, that's what it means. This is going to be metaphorical, not literal. Okay. It basically said, while you were out having fun and in love and being all happy and positive and warmth, thinking you were successful, you were naive and you ended up getting burned. Okay. Whatever that was about. Sometimes, this means theft. So somebody could have stolen something from you, just like a security, as far as being faithful. Maybe you walked in on somebody being unfaithful. But this also talks about immoral acts. Basically, there's a hidden truth. This also could be overindulgence. I'm just talking about the Three of Cups for a minute. It talks about there's no possibility. You're troubled. Here we have abundance, no abundance. Abundance, no abundance. No communication going on. There's no friendship. You're just troubled. Okay. Okay, clarifying the Sun in reverse. You got Page of Cups in reverse. These two together says you don't really have a mentor to show you the way. Okay, like you're this young page out here, very romantic, very naive. Okay, and you don't have that person who's kind of lighting the way for you. Okay, so you're very easily hurt in love. Usually when the page is upright, it talks about love offers and your dreams come true as regards to love. That's in reverse. So it says, there's like no hope of your dreams coming true, at least not with this person. Sometimes, especially since we have two pages in here, when you have two pages, especially when they're in reverse, you could have two suitors, but mainly this just means somebody's very childish. Could be you or the other person or both. Okay. Speaking of childish, we did have that with the Sun. The Sun talks about being childish because here is being childlike, childish. With the Nine of Pentacles, it talks about, the nines in reverse talk about being selfish, which can be childish. When you combine these together, talks about self-centered, okay, but it's usually when they're upright. So maybe somebody is self-centered, and here, not self-centered. It may just not depend on what position they're in. Because we do have a couple other self-centered things. So somebody here is thinking about themselves, or they're just really focused on themselves. Also, just thinking about this, the Sun could say somebody outgrew a situation. So they were childish, okay, but they outgrew it. Sometimes this talks about your success is blocked, you don't have a new beginning, and you came to the wrong conclusion about something. Because here, the truth came to light here. Ooh, wrong conclusion. Maybe you did think somebody was being unfaithful and ended up being childish about it, and they really weren't. You thought they were, but we have lots of stuff in reverse. Also, this is just like low self-esteem, being pessimistic. With the Queen of Wands, it signifies her as a storyteller. So she may be making up rumors or gossip. Or maybe you just thought she was. Either one. Depends on what the situation is for each person. But, after all, you did get burned at the beach. Not literally, but metaphorically, you got burned.